Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another Mitsubishi Montero channel video. In this video, we're going to talk about the cruise control on the Montero. The cruise control is not working on my Montero, so we're going to try to fix it. We're going to try to diagnose it. I'll show you what's going on with it. So let's go. There's a Montero right there. You can see it. There she is. Let me just grab the key and we will go and check it out. Hope everybody's doing great today. I want to thank all the new subscribers, everybody that comments and has interaction with me on the channel. Thank you guys for that. But anyway, here I am here in the Montero, and let me zoom out a little bit so we can see a little bit better. Actually, I can't do that. Anyway, let me start the engine, and you can see. Let me start the engine one more time, because as you can see, the lights, when you start the engine, it does a bulb check here, but the cruise control light does not come on. Now, I'm not sure if it's supposed to do a bulb check or not, but I know that it does not come on when I start the engine. See, all the other lights come on, but the cruise control does not come on. Now, if you push the button right here, the cruise control light should come on. And I push the button and nothing happens. I push it multiple times, nothing happens. So that means that either this button, the signal from this button is not making it to the computer, or the light is just not working. Now, the way it works is when you push on this button here, the signal goes through the clock spring and it goes through the connector down there, and then it goes to the computer over there, and then the computer turns that light on. So that is not happening right now. But one quick tip, one quick thing you can do when you have a situation like this where that light's not coming on, when you push the button, you can hold the button like this and then wiggle the steering wheel like that. There, see, I wiggled it enough so that it made contact through the clock spring, and then the light came on. So that tells me that there's a bad connection right here in the clock spring, and when I move the steering wheel a lot, it makes the connection, and then it goes to the computer, and then the computer turns the light on. So now I know that my issue is not on the wiring towards the computer, it's not on the computer itself, it's not on the wiring coming back to the light. The issue is right here, because the signal was okay after I started moving the steering wheel like this. Not the signal was okay, but the signal made it through after I started wiggling the steering wheel like that. So I know that the issue is in the clock spring. Okay, so let's take off the steering wheel, let's take off the clock spring, and see what we find. My goal with this video is to fix the clock spring. I don't want to replace it. I don't even know where to get one. I don't know if Luso Overland has them or not, but I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna try to fix it. So come with me on this journey and we'll check it out. All right, let's go. All right guys, so to remove the steering wheel, basically all Monteros have a little hole right here on the side, and that's where you put your 8mm Allen wrench. It's got to be a long one like this one, and then to get more leverage you use like a crescent wrench or something. But every time you work with the airbag system or anything related to the airbags, always unplug the battery. So I'm gonna open the hood, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the battery. Batteries unplugged. All right, so now we're back over here, and we have excuse me, we have our Allen wrench right here, right there. So this guy goes in there. And this is just to, this wrench is just to get some leverage so I can turn it, because obviously I can't turn this with my bare hands. But if I get some leverage on this Allen wrench, I can probably do it. So I'm gonna hold it from here and then pry it. Wait, so yeah, so I'm gonna, so this is tight, that's okay. So I'm gonna pull it towards me, and that's righty tighty, lefty loosey, guys. Always remember that. Oh shit! Whoa, that was tight. Woo! That was tight. Okay, now it's not tight anymore. There we go. That was that initial. The initial tightness was pretty. I gotta look at the torque spec so I can put it back where it was. Okay, now I can just do it with my hands. Okay, now I don't think this thing's gonna come off all the way. It probably just has like a detent. So now the steering wheel should be able to come off, but a little more. Alright guys, so now that we have the steering wheel loose, you can't just pull it out. It's still connected to the clock spring in there. So it's got this little cover here at the bottom where you can do that. So the little cover comes off like this. You see that? Alright guys, so after removing this little cover here from the bottom of the steering wheel, there's three connection points. There's this little ground connection, little wire. There's this white connector, and there's this yellow for the airbag. And once you disconnect those, then you separate the steering wheel from the clock spring. So now we should be able to remove the steering wheel from the shaft. Let's see. Let me put the camera back on the tripod. Alright guys, so as I showed you, we got the steering wheel unbolted from the shaft. We took the little cover off from the bottom of the steering wheel. We disconnected those three little connectors. Now this steering wheel can come out of the shaft like this. See? So now we put this aside. Now we have our bad boy right here, the clock spring. Now this clock spring shouldn't be that difficult to come off. Let me see what the heck is holding it. Now I'm not worried right now about the airbag because the airbag is right over here. So, but this clock spring, I know you just can't pull it out. Okay guys, so actually you do have to separate this little panel thing, this little area here. Maybe not 100%, but there are three of these screws that are held from the bottom, and then once you get those off, then it just kind of snaps. These little locks just kind of snap out, and then the clock spring will come out, but it does have a couple of connections that you have to disconnect down there. So at this point, so the airbag connector has this little green tab that you have to lift up before it allows you to disconnect. Before it allows you to disconnect it, you have to flip up this little green thing. Alright, so now that we have the clock spring in our hand, let's go to the workbench and see what's going on with it. Alright guys, so here's the clock spring from the Montero. It's, as you can see, it was my first time taking it off, so it wasn't the easiest thing. But it's not the most difficult thing either. So when you first remove the steering wheel, you have to disconnect these three connections. This one, and this one. And then you have the clock spring like that. And then you have to remove the little panel area there, so you can have access to removing this guy. Make enough room to remove this guy. And once you kind of like move it out a little bit, you still have these connectors to disconnect. You have the one here, the yellow one that goes for the airbag, and then you have the the other one here that goes for the cruise control functions and stuff like that. We do have for cruise control, we have a bunch of terminals right there, and those are the terminals. We'll look at the wiring diagram right now, but those are the terminals that come from the cruise control switch, which are these wires here. There's 3 on the white wire, and on the airbag there's 3 as well. Let's see, yeah, 3. And then we have this little ground this little ground wire right here. So we'll take a look at the wiring diagram and see what they all do, but I'm really curious to see what's going on inside this this clock spring. It does have a bunch of cautions here. Let's see. It says, please do not turn except when required. Oops. It is not repairable part. It's not a repairable part. If defective, please replace entire unit according to the service manual. Instructions, alignment of modules is necessary when they are adjusted and are installed. Okay, following the service manual instructions. So we're not supposed to repair this part. Yeah, I understand that. Alright guys, I think we have the cover almost all the way out here. Oh shit. Alright, so we found some hair. Okay. Oh wow. So as you can see, the tape looks pretty normal, but look at this hair. Oh my gosh, look at that. So it almost seems like that hair, it was right there where those 2 connection points were. So that wasn't allowing the contact to be made, I'm assuming. Oh, look at that. Here's the issue right here. Look at it. There's an open circuit right there. So in addition to the hair, there is an open circuit on this clock spring right there. I don't know if I can fix this thing, man. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix it, especially after that caution that I read on it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix it, but at least I know that that's an issue right there. And it was starting to jump to the other one. You see this? It's right there. So we know we have an open circuit there, but we have like it's starting to run to the other side. I don't know how or why. All right, guys, so I decided we're not gonna fix that clock spring. It's not worth it, really. It's really not worth it. They're on eBay. They're for like 17 bucks. There's some little more expensive ones that come from Australia or China, but the ones that come from the US are about 15, 17 bucks. So they're not very expensive models. I'll put the part number down below so you can see what the part number is. So I have one coming. I'm not gonna fix that one. Also for liability purposes, you know, because if you start messing with it, it's probably electronically fixable, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess with that. I'm just gonna get a new one, and then we're gonna install it. So thank you for watching this part of the video. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up in a few days when I get the other one, so we can install it, and I'll demonstrate to you guys that the cruise control works on the Montero. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right, guys, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.